2024. Coming to an end, whānau. Wow. Just was Zaki today. What a year. What an absolute year. It's been a big year. It's been a crazy year. I hope you guys have had a good year as well. I honestly thought 2023 was the biggest and greatest year of my life. And it was in many ways. But now that I reflect on this year's been bigger and greater in a different way. And this is like, I hear people probably like, oh man, not another bloody reflective journal, not another reflective video. I actually think reflection is a great skill to have and a great thing to do. So I advise you guys to reflect on your year as well. I'm a very reflective person. I like reflecting monthly. Monthly journals, done that for the last 3 years. And it's helped me out heaps. Then you can look back on your year at the beginning and sort of look, shit, good things were happening here. Why? Bad things were happening here. Why? What was the behaviors that I was doing? What was the people that I was hanging out with? Why was I vibrating like that? And so I would advise you, but reflecting on 2023 was the biggest and greatest year of my life because it was a public victory. I was on a TV show. I just got killed off on a TV show this time last year. And, half the country was bloody talking about it. And oh my God, I'd go out and there was a lot of public validation for my life at that time, in which I loved it, but I also struggled with it as well. It was a public victory. That's the way I look at it. This year's been a lot more private victory. And what I mean by that is I've said that I'm going to do things in my head, and I've actually just committed to them and done them. And that's just continuously given me evidence, giving me confirmation and it just gives me my own confidence. My confidence grows because I say, or I think of something and then I do it. And I feel like that's where I never used to be like that. And I feel like that's where a lot of people sort of struggle with. And so this year's been the biggest year of my life in that regard, that it's all been a lot of private victories. There's heaps of different things. I'm not going to go on too much, but the biggest one of my biggest ones is around being in the driving seat. And, you can say like, the way I think about it is you are responsible for every single thing in your life. And on a surface level, that sounds quite obvious. Like, obviously, it's my life. But when you really think about it, a lot of us live our lives based on what society says we're supposed to do. For example, we may be in a job that we don't even really like, but we're just in it. We're in it. And I understand that a lot of us are dealt with a different deck of cards. For example, a lot of us are born into wealth, into money. Some of us aren't. A lot of us are born with 2 parents. Some of us born with 1. Some of us are born with none. And so I get that we are one, but we are not the same. Izzy Adesanya. I love that. And I really think about that a lot. So, but although we may not all come from a similar starting line, people have done things, there have been people that have had no legs that still stay in tremendous physical shape. There are people that are blind that end up learning how to play the piano. Stevie Wonder, love you, my brother. He won my Spotify rap this year. But people out there come from worse conditions, worse situations, and they end up making something for themselves because they take responsibility for their life. And so when you really think about it, if you are not in a position that you like, and we all got things to work on, but if you are in a relationship that you don't like, if you are in a job that you like, if you are in a city, in an area that you don't like, you have the capability, the opportunity to be able to change it and make that happen. And I never really, I thought about it and understood it, but I really believe it now. Change is a scary thing, but you can definitely change things in your life if you really want to. That's number 1. Number 2, not everyone supports you. Not everyone is gonna support you. And that's okay. You got to do it for you, man. You got to see heaps of people out there saying like, oh yeah, I'm doing it for my sister, for my mom, for my missus, whatever. That's cool. That's only going to get you so far. You got to do it for you, whatever it is that you do. And so I look at that for a lot of things in my life. Like, do I really want to do that? Do I really want to do that? So I think it's important for you guys to actually, like I said at the beginning, when you are reflecting on your year, think about next year as well. Like, what do I actually want to do? Do I want to fall in love? Do I want to get rich? And what does that look like to me? Do I want to be financially rich? Do I want to be rich in my relationships? What do you really want? So, but with that, you're not going to get support from the people that you may have thought you were going to get support from. You know, the familiar faces, your friends and family, they may not support you entirely. And what I've learned though, through that, that's okay. What I've learned is that even for me, one of my work-ons now is to be more supportive for the people that I love. And what I mean by that is like an act of encouragement. Because I haven't received it, I've noticed it in myself that, man, I'm not receiving as much support as I thought I would, but I'm also not giving as much support as I thought I would. So that's a work on for me going forward. And with that, no one actually really cares. Like, when you really think about it, like, no one actually gives a shit. And that's cool. We think a lot of people give a shit about what it is that we're doing, about the way that we look, about the way we talk, whatever. No one really cares, man. And until you really understand that, then you're always going to be thinking externally about what other people, and it's a forever skill, man. I still struggle with it sometimes too, but I'm definitely in a position now where I care a lot less. Because if you really think about it, when good things happen to you, you know, let's go some examples. You may have got a promotion in your job. You may have had the best day. You tell your friends, tell your family, I just got a promotion. It goes into one ear and it goes out the other. The next day, they don't care. They've forgotten already. Something bad happens to you. You may have lost your job. Your car may have broken down. And, you know, to you, you're like, oh, shit. You tell your family, gone. In one ear, out the other. No one really cares. So it goes back to that idea. You got to do whatever it is that you want to do. Lesson number 2. Lesson number 3. Everything requires work, man. Like, everything requires work. And this is why I think a lot of us are stronger in certain areas of our lives than others. Like, for me personally, like my physical well-being is always on because I put the work in for that. And that correlates to my mental, not all the time, still, you know, like anyone. But that is where I put a lot of my work, a lot of my time. But because of that, something else misses out on. For example, my relationships need a lot of work. And that's something I'm aware of after this year, which I need to improve on going forward. But for you, what is it that you want a family? But if you want a family, you know, you may miss out on the time to work on your business, work on whatever it is. If you want a family, you could suffer in other areas of your life. It's pretty much what I'm saying. And so everything requires work. There's a cost to everything. That's lesson number 3. Lesson number 4, curiosity is king. Curiosity is king. What do I mean by that? I feel like being curious is one of the greatest skill sets a human can have. And I feel like they're the best people to be around. You know, there's some people that ask too many questions, which get annoying, but the ones that are always willing to ask, willing to learn, willing to fail. The ones that are willing to fail, it's inspiration. The ones that are just dive into the deep end. And that's what I respect. The people that are just, even if they do fail, they give it a crack. Mana. I love that shit. But you got to be curious to be able to do that. You got to think, man, what can I do? What can I achieve? Luke Kimmy's talked about it. Keep the change. Who can I become? I think that's a great one. Who can I become? Being curious of the individual that you could become. And so even for me going forward, I'm like, what are those areas that I need to work on in my life? What is it that I got to do to become that man, to become that person? I got to fix up the relationship things. I got to fix up other areas of my life that I want to improve in. This is a buzzy one. Finances. I've never ever been driven or money hungry in my life. For the first time in my life, I've really thought about money. And what I mean by that is I've never ever thought, man, I want to be a millionaire until this year. And so there's a difference between wanting to be rich and, I guess, chasing. I'm not chasing it. I'm wanting to be it, but I'm not chasing going after. That's not the main sort of priority. It's wanting something. I say, what do I got to do to be able to do that? What are the habits in my life that I got to change? Who are the people that I got to surround myself to be able to get there? And it comes back to that idea of being curious. And so I think for you guys, it goes back to what I was saying at the start. What is it that I want? What do I got to do in order to meet that person? Curiosity is king. And I also feel like with that is you push the ceiling. When you start thinking, man, I could become that guy. I could become that girl. I could become them. Ooh, wow. Like you really push the ceilings that I feel like society, maybe it's friends and family that put on you that you can only reach a certain level or reach a ceiling. When you really start becoming curious and you continue to give yourself evidence that you could be that person, your ceiling continues to rise. And so now for me, one of the things that I struggle with is I feel like sometimes I got too much self-belief. And I really want to learn about the idea of delusion. Like sometimes I'm like, am I being delusional? Thinking that I could do this, thinking that I could be him. And so I'm navigating that space. But when you start being curious, you push those limiting beliefs that your friends, family, society, New Zealand, we're bad at that. We're very, very, it sounds bad, but we're very, very small-minded in the way that our ceiling's very, very low, I feel. And it's something that I think we need to work on as a country. And goes back to the support thing. We need to uplift our friends, our whānau, the other people around us that, yeah, bro, you can do it. You can be that person. You can have a whānau. You can learn about your culture, spiritual waka. You can get into good shape. You can lose 20 kg. Come to the gym. You can do all these things, but in Aotearoa, it's the encouragement isn't there. So not everyone's going to support you, but you got to be able to deal with it. Again, keep doing it for you and then being able to do things that are bigger than you as well. Curiosity is king. This is number 4. My final, and this is the biggest one for me. And it's been the hardest one. This has been the hardest one for me to I don't know if accept is the word, and it's something that I'm still trying to navigate, and it is around other people. And it is, you can't change someone. You can guide someone. You can help someone. You can love someone. You can't change them. You can shake them. You want to shake them. You can't change them. They gotta want to change for themselves. And it's a tough one because there's so much, I've done a little bit of research on this and people say like, just let go. Just let go and protect your energy. It's easy to say that. Easy to say, oh yeah, I'll just walk away and let go. But what if those people are like the most important people to you? What if you are the only one that like truly believes in them? And what I mean by that is like truly believes in them. Like there's people out there, like this is actually a great thing for you guys to think about too. Like who truly has your back, Like it's all good. Like, oh yeah, he's my friend. Oh my God, hi. But at the end of the day, do they truly have you? Like I'm thinking about it even for me. Like who really has Zach's back? Man, it'd be less fingers on my hand, I think, that would truly be there, that would truly do everything, that would, do it all. And so when you have that for other people, when you truly believe in them, what if you walk away? What if you walk away? Who's going to believe in them now? Who's going to believe in them now? And that's been hard. That's been really hard for me to navigate this year. Definitely the biggest learning, and something I'm continuously trying to learn. And I feel like it's very relatable for a lot of people out there that will be struggling and suffering, or that may have gone through this as well. And if that's you, man, comment below what you guys have done or are doing, because I would love to hear some advice, some guidance, and some love around there too. Man, 2023, I wrote down a quote for my year, and it was, keep building that man, a loving but dangerous man. And I truly believe I achieved that this year. Been in the trenches this year, man. 11 boxing fights, couple Aussie titles. Me and my brother built something that I think will be here for years to come. And like I said, the belief is there. I know that the people are around us that are going to be there to get us to the next level. And that's all it is for 2025. Again, I'm navigating the area between self-belief and delusion. But I'm going to say it on here because this is the last episode of 2023. 2024, I truly believe The Martin Show will be the biggest podcast to come out of Aotearoa, New Zealand by the end of 2025. I said it. Why? I believe in it. Like I said, I not only believe in it, but I know that I'm going to put the actions in. I know that my team are going to put the actions in order to get there. And what's going to help us get there as well is you guys. So you guys jump on the waka as well. Hopefully you guys believe in us too. Aotearoa, we love you. We hope you love us. Don't mind if you don't. But let's make 2025 a year of absolute mana, absolute growth. Let's reach our full potential as men, as wahine, as them. That's us, team. If you made it this far, man, do us a favor, hit that subscribe button. My name is Zach. 2024, amazing year. 2024, we took part. 2025, we take over. Aroha team, thank you. Kia ora.